Welcome back. You're watching CNN. Well, instead of draining the quote-unquote Washington swamp, which is what we heard from so many of those rallies with Donald Trump, now it looks like he's wading deep into the waters here in Washington. The president-elect's transition team has revved up with a staff of longtime Washington experts, veterans, K Street lobbyists, think tank veterans, and among these names now being tossed around for his cabinet, you have Chris Christie, Newt Gingrich, Reince Priebus, Rudy Giuliani, not exactly a pool of political outsiders. So David French joins me now, writer for the National Review, an anti-Trumper conservative whose name was floated as an alternative to Trump, perhaps as a candidate, and he's also a veteran of the U.S. Army. So first and foremost, David, thank you so much for your service.
Well, thank you. It's the great privilege of my life.
Beginning, though, with politics. Now the news, we've been reporting here, David, that it will be the vice president, no longer Chris Christie heading up the transition team. It's going to be the vice president, Mike Pence, vice president-elect Mike Pence. What does that tell you about what the Trump administration might look like based upon that change?
It's telling me good things so far. It's telling me that rather than Trump sort of saying, well, I'm just going to go with who was with me first, he's going with someone who he believes would be best calculated to do the job and to do an effective job and reach out to conservatives who were never Trump conservatives like Mike Pence. I have always liked Mike Pence. So this is saying that he's reaching out to people across the entire GOP spectrum, that he's not valuing first-in loyalty over everything else. He's looking at who could be effective in the job. And I think it's a very encouraging sign.
Let me throw another name in there. Reince Priebus, RNC chair Reince Priebus. And now CNN sources telling CNN all signs point to Priebus as Trump's chief of staff. Your reaction?
Look, if it's between the one of the heroes of the alt-right and Steve Bannon and Reince Priebus, consider me Team Reince Priebus. I mean, that's a very, very good move. I mean, for those of us who were concerned about a Trump administration, we had concerns about character and ideas. And we had concerns about some of the character of the people that surrounded Trump. And I had disagreements with Reince Priebus. I had disagreements with Mike Pence as a never-Trump conservative. But I never sat there and thought that these guys are alt-right, that these guys are authoritarian, these guys are demagogues. No, they're constitutional conservatives. And if he's surrounding himself with constitutional conservatives, I'm pleased by that decision. This is another good step.
How about, in my hand, I have this is from the Trump team. This is this list, right, of men and women who will be involved in the transition. On the list, I'm looking at Jared Kushner. This is President-elect Trump's son-in-law. Farther down the list, I see Don Jr., Eric Trump, Ivanka Trump. Do you think that's a good thing that he picks, his own blood, his own family members as part of this transition, playing roles? Or might it be a conflict of interest, David?
Yeah, that's starting to get more problematic. I mean, look, it's to be expected you're going to have some loyalists around you. It's to be expected he's going to trust his family above all else. But, when you're talking about a transition team, and let's be clear what transition teams do, they're responsible for locating literally thousands of people who are going to be the GOP talent, the conservative talent, hopefully will fill the ranks of this administration. This requires an awful lot about knowledge, not just about policy, but about people. And when you choose people around you, yes, I get that he trusts his family. Do they have the depth of knowledge required? And are there conflicts of interest when the family is also running Trump businesses while he's in the Oval Office? So that's much less encouraging. But if the process is being run by Pence, truly run by Pence, again, that's far more reassuring than these other aspects are troubling.
What about also just as a never-Trump guy? We had heard that even though he's no longer in charge of transition, he's he's an ally of Trump's, Governor Christie. And so apparently Governor Christie was trying to persuade Trump to consider never-Trumpers to play roles in the upcoming administration. A, do you think that would happen, or would hell have to freeze over first? B, would you be interested?
Look, I think that particularly when it comes to foreign policy, it's going to be really hard to fill the ranks of the foreign policy experts and the foreign policy professionals without dipping into some never-Trump ranks. So there's a little bit of necessity is the mother of invention here, and necessity can sometimes be the mother of reconciliation. That may happen. As far as I'm concerned, look, here's my view. I am praying for the next president. I hope and pray that I'm fundamentally wrong about his character and that I've been fundamentally wrong about what policies that he'll pursue. That's what I'm praying for. If the next administration wants my help in any given way, I sincerely doubt that they would. Look, I'd be happy to serve my country in any capacity.
Okay, David French, thank you so much.